Hi, and welcome back to Keeping Up with Chloe. Today I'm here with...
Ronke.
And Julianne.
So, today is Valentine's Day, and we're going to talk about a few things. First, do you believe in love at first sight? Why or why not?
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay. So basically, I don't believe in love at first sight because I feel like it's not a very realistic concept. Because for love at first sight to be real, you would have to believe in like you seeing someone and just believing that you can be in love with them forever. But that's not how love works. It's something that's much more complex than that, and to be fully in love with someone, you need to love them in the ways that they grow, and you need to grow with them, and you can't do that at first sight.
Yeah. I feel like first sight is more about like attraction, which you can't not call love.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah,
What do you
no,
think?
I completely agree. Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Love at first sight for me is definitely not real, but attraction at first sight is absolutely like that's definitely a thing. Because as you said, Ronke, love kind of just is something that takes a long time to happen. It like you grow with it, and that's not something that you can really see in a person like just at first glance.
Yeah. So, is there any funny or awkward Valentine's Day experiences? Oh, I know Ronke has some.
Okay, so what kind of ones are we feeling? So okay,
Tell them all.
They low-key can't hear me.
It's a
okay,
safe space.
so in grade 8, when I still went to EMS, on Valentine's Day, I was dating. I'm not gonna name drop, but basically, me and him had gone to the mall a little bit prior. And I really, really loved this plushie of Lilo and Stitch, but like the pink one. And it was the cutest thing ever. And then on Valentine's Day, he gave it to me at school.
That's cute.
At school.
Okay.
So adorable.
So when I was at school, I was like, okay, I'm holding this thing around because I don't know how to open my locker. And everyone's like, oh, did you get that from And I'm like, oh, yeah.
How'd the
But yeah, I did. And I'm like, okay, that's really cute. That's really adorable. But then I kid you not, that same day, me and him got into a rampaging fight
Oh,
in the hallway.
Oh my goodness.
my.
So that was a little bit embarrassing. And also, he didn't understand why I wanted him to ask me to be his Valentine because
Is
we
that
were
why you guys
already
were-
dating.
Is that why you guys were like in an argument in the first
No.
place?
It was literally completely unrelated, but it was a loud one because I was yelling. But yeah, that was a little bit
Oh my God.
embarrassing. Another embarrassing experience.
I remember it was grade 9, right? Grade 9, April Fool's Day. She posted on her story that she got back with the dude.
and it was
troll
an
everyone.
old be real of me holding the plushie. and
my.
why that also got a little bit awkward later on is because we had a very bad falling out, and when we broke up, let's just say that stuffed animal got beheaded
What?
and then posted on my story by my friend.
Oh.
So
Were you the one that beheaded it?
it was dual work. It was more than a one-man job. So I think that's one of my most embarrassing experiences. There's been worse, there's been better, but you know.
Do you want to share the other ones?
I think it was probably in that same relationship at school. They also had candygrams.
Okay, this guy.
And he was in French immersion, and I wasn't, so I was just in French class. And then the candygrams came in here. Mind you, I'm never in French class.
Oh.
So when the candygrams did get delivered, this was the one time I was in this class. And my teacher, who was a little bit nosy, was like, ooh, Ronke, like, I see a note with that candygram. And
Oh
I
my
was
gosh,
like,
the French
guys,
teacher.
enough, guys.
She is
enough.
off.
And then she was like, yeah, that was kind of the gist of it, but that was just kind of humbling because, like, great, now you know about my relationship when I don't even come to your class. That's great. That's great. But, yeah, pretty much.
Julianne, do you have any?
No, but I know you do have some too, Chloe.
Oh, yes. Okay, this is the one and only time I've ever gotten a love letter. So, okay, this was a long time ago, in like, I think like grade 7. I'm pretty sure it was grade 7. But during Valentine's Day, this very
What's up, nerds?
hi.
Sup,
We're
Mr. B?
recording the podcast right now.
Oh, I'm in the street.
Do you want to say hi?
It's your boy, Mr. B, coming in live. This is Keeping Up with Chloe. You're listening on News 11:30. Make sure you catch us every Friday at 9 p.m. released. 9 p.m. Subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Shazam, SoundCloud, LinkedIn, YouTube, MySpace, wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes! It's a Valentine's Day episode. Okay, so it was in Mr. B, which is everyone happy Valentine's, guys. So, it was in grade 7. This very sweet guy. Okay, very, very nice. I'm not gonna say what his name was, but it was just one day randomly out of nowhere that after school he walked up to me, right? Mind you, we barely talked. Like I don't really talk to that guy, but he walked up to me, he shoved this card into me, and then he just turned around and walked away. No context, like nothing at all. So I opened the card, right? And then on the card, he drew a photo of a rose and said, "Happy Valentine's, Chloe." And he also on top of that, he gave me a $25 gift card.
You wanted it bad.
And then, but I was very confused, right? I barely talked to this dude. I don't really know him that well. He's a really nice guy, but I don't really know him that well. So I thought it was just like him handing out presents to everyone. I thought he gave it to everyone.
Oh my.
So
$25, guys.
Yes. So I went up to like my other friends because they saw it, and then everyone was confused because he didn't tell any of his friends like what was going on. No one knew what was going on, and I was confused too. So like I went up to like a few of my other classmates, and I was like, "Did you get this card from him? Like, am I the only one that got it?" And they're like, "Yeah, you are." But so it's a bad ending though. It's a sad ending. So I was really confused, right? And at this time, this was like some hardcore grade 7 drama, but I liked this other guy at the time. And then so I thought it was a good idea to literally go up to him. I gave him the gift card back. I gave him the card back, but I kept the card he wrote for me. And yeah, let's just say he didn't take it very well.
A little bit awkward.
Huh?
It's a little bit awkward.
That is a very awkward experience.
And, okay, it gets worse, okay? So, no one lets go of that. Like, everyone, at this point, everyone in the grade knows. Like, everyone in our grade knows about it. And I remember, it was like a Friday. And then the weekend after, we got a new seating plan for our socials class. And guess who I sat beside with in that class? Him.
Yeah.
So it was a very traumatizing experience because I remember the whole class started screaming our name, and then after I went up to our socials teachers, right? I went up to her and I told her to change the seating plan because it just wouldn't work. Ronky's face right now.
Ronky can feel the secondhand embarrassment from that.
I physically, like, me and that guy, we're on good terms now. We're friends now. But we didn't talk for a whole year. For an entire year, we didn't talk.
Yeah.
But, do you have any, Julia?
Nope.
Okay.
Nothing considered embarrassing.
Well, just talk about it.
Like, oh no. Like, I wouldn't consider it to be funny at all. It's just like, they're just giving you something. It's nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. But, so for our viewers, what is the best last-minute Valentine's Day gift you can recommend for them? For people that's unprepared.
Okay, I got
Like
you
what?
on this one. I
yeah,
got
like,
you on this
like
one.
what gifts would you want to see the most?
Okay, so if you're doing something last minute, the first thing you have to do is make it seem like it was supposed to be last minute. You gotta fake it till you make it.
Really?
You can't be like,
It wasn't
"Oh, I
supposed to be last
forgot."
minute?
No, because
Yeah.
if it is last minute, you can't be like, oh, I forgot. You gotta be like, I'm giving it to you now because I planned this way ahead
Yeah.
of time, right? And then, so obviously, if you
The
can't.
first thing you said to me when you got me my birthday present was, "Oh, I didn't have time to buy it at all."
No, the first when I gave you a birthday present, that I told you didn't put enough stuff on your birthday list. That's why I didn't get you enough stuff. Is what I
that's
said.
good. That's good.
Yeah. No, I actually did get it to you. Like, I grabbed stuff like 3 days before.
Yeah, no,
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, first thing you write them a poem. All right.
A poem?
You write them a poem. You can use ChatGPT. Okay, and then you take them out like to a park and just read the poem to them.
Read a poem?
And that is the most romantic thing I could tell you that you could do for Valentine's Day.
Really?
It's about the quality time. It's not even just about the gifts, because gifts sometimes are very like fleeting, you know? It's not like it's not meaningful, but if you spend that time with that person, then yeah, that thing would get me going. Like,
What do you think, Ronnie?
Okay, so it honestly really depends on how well you know this person. It really depends on how personable this is. So first off, it comes to the terms of, did you already ask this person to be your Valentine, or is this a later happening gift, just like a gift on Valentine's Day because you want to show them you appreciate them? So first off, yeah, I would branch away from things that are materialistic unless it's something that they have constantly re-articulated that they really, really want or really enjoy. Like, for example, the experience I told you about, that stuffed animal was literally like $80, but it is something that like I constantly re-articulated, like, I've been wanting this for years, but I have never gotten it because it's an insane price. And it's also like, for example, my sister, like a Pandora charm bracelet, she got one, and then he added Valentine's charms to it. Like, that's something that's really cute. And like a last minute gift, really, I would say it lies within like, first off, flowers and something written or spoken that like re-articulates like your care and affection for them.
Yeah,
because that's the best thing that someone could experience. Because like materialistic things, like things can get wrecked, accidents can happen, but the memory of someone doing something for you that like genuinely touched your heart and was like made you feel close to them and was very like targeted to you is much more like everlasting and meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah.
agree with you. Yeah.
It's more the memories. I feel like for me, I would say the best suggestion, it's like, I really like those like homecoming boards, you know?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Those-
that's so
I was looking
cute.
at that yesterday.
Like
I
I wish.
formal.
Yeah.
You're gonna ask.
Are you
someone
gonna
out?
ask someone?
No.
Ooh, hot tea, hot tea.
No, I wish we had the culture in our school to it's like normalized to actually
Chloe.
ask someone else to dance.
Oh, you should start. You should start that.
Should I?
You should ask somebody.
That'd be so funny though, but
Me and Rocky are gonna be a wing woman.
oh. No, but like I feel like you can do the same applies for like Valentine's Day. You can ask someone to be their Valentine's with the little like the homecoming boards. Maybe I feel like recently I really like the trend of like gift baskets. I feel like those are pretty
Yes.
cute. Like it doesn't have to be one really big thing, but it could be like a bunch of small things that kind of would just like the other person would always say that they want or like they usually use. You know what I mean? And I feel like the board is just such a good idea. Like I've been trying to convince like the guys in our grade to ask the girls out with the boards. I'm trying to convince them.
Wait, because not enough girls are going to the formal. I don't know.
Some of them are.
Some of them are. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you know, I'll blur out the names, but wanted to make one for.
Really?
He did. He was like,
Oh my
he said he even talked to her about it, but she just said she didn't want to make
Oh,
a big
yeah,
deal
yeah.
because no one in
Yeah,
our
no.
school is gonna do it.
She likes being subtle.
Yeah. But it's such a good
We
idea.
should convince Steven and Landry.
Oh, because we like imagine and like going out of the class and just seeing that.
Yeah, no, that would be so cute. I feel like the teachers would like watching it too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
like my sister, she got called down on like the sound system by her boyfriend for
God.
her prom.
Oh my god.
And then
my
from the
goodness.
stairs there was like roses and stuff, and
Stop!
he was holding her puppy, and the sign said, "If my puppy dog eyes don't work, maybe his will."
Oh my god.
With a bouquet of roses.
Oh, I saw that one in her room.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
No, even for our senior prom, no one ever asked each other.
Oh yeah, no.
It's just the culture. It's kind of depressing.
So I think it's a sign that we should change it and
Yeah,
we should start doing
We
this.
can be trendsetters.
Yes. So, next one. How do you think that love has changed at the age of social media or dating apps?
Okay, this I have an answer for that I actually don't even have to think about.
Wow.
So, first off, we're going to get started with the most basic thing, and this is going to be applicable for mostly teenagers. I know that dating apps isn't really like a teenager thing, but I feel like social media is very applicable because in this age that we live in, Snapchat, what do you look like, warriors exist.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started on those.
It's not very personable. It's not an experience that is anything like what it used to be, and it changes people's expectations of relationships because I feel like everyone, like, tying back to the soulmate thing, everybody over romanticizes relationships.
Exactly.
And like sometimes like you have to accept that your first relationship is not going to be the man that you marry, and maybe it is, and maybe you get really lucky, but it's not going to be.
Yeah.
But people are like, oh, they want it to be casual. Like, no, that doesn't mean not being loyal. It means knowing that you like each other and growing with each other, but also accepting that feelings are fleeting no matter how hard you try, and you're going to make mistakes in relationships, and not trying to romanticize the idea of, oh, I met him in grade 7 and we're going to date till I die. No, that's not really how it works. And like all these things, like promise rings and things are so beautiful when you get deeper into relationships, but in this age, like social media is portraying, like, they're mainstream broadcasting only the really good aspects of relationships, and it's giving people the wrong ideologies that relationships are not gonna have problems and like relationships are gonna be everlasting. But that's just like not how the world works, because people mature and grow, and sure, in relationships you want to grow together, but also the way our brains work and the way our hearts work, they can work against each other, and you can grow in different aspects and be interested in different things, and those things might not mend, and that's okay. And I feel like social media doesn't really allow people to realize that. And like most people, like social media, let's be real with it, every time you open your phone onto TikTok or Snapchat, you're gonna see an absolute baddie, okay?
Yes.
You're gonna sit down and be like, oh my god, that is the most attractive person I know. And I'm not gonna say they're a catfish, because they could really be that good looking. But the problem with it is that people will make their expectations that and say that, oh yeah, I have a type, a physical type, and I will only go for this type. And that's just completely unrealistic, because that's not how the real world works in dating. Like, you can't just see a girl on social media that looks like a supermodel and say, I'm only gonna date someone like that. And it gives everyone else bad expectations for themselves, especially when looking for relationships. So you're like, oh, I'm too unattractive for a relationship. Oh, I'm too this for a relationship. And like dating apps, especially in like young adults, like, you're writing down like, oh, I like to ride horses, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I like going to parties, like blah, blah, blah. It's very simple, but it's like some people use these resources, social media and dating apps, to get the wrong things when you could use it for good, but the way that human nature is, we're working against it. So.
Yeah, because in my opinion, same with what Ronke said, I feel like social media only portrays the good side of a relationship, which kind of like sets the expectations way too high. Like, as an example, I feel like most of us here, we only post TikToks or we only like post selfies when we look the best when we do. Like, we don't necessarily like get up and take that long time to get ready every single day. But like, so we only post what we look the best in. And that's kind of what's it like with like everyone on social media, and that kind of just sets the standard way too high. Like, everyone is so overconsumed with all these like crazy looking, like good looking people every single day, that they just start to like kind of forget what people in real life actually looks like. Because like realistically, I've seen a lot of like good looking people, and like in real life they're also good looking, but online it's just like striking. But in real life they're good looking, but it's just like not as striking. You categorize them as good looking, but it's not just like, oh, like that's my dream man, or like, oh, like I need to marry him. And also, I think one thing that I find really like weird, maybe it's because of social media, is that like people are so like overprotective of their past relationship nowadays. Like I've seen so much so much TikToks that's like not like about like not being able to letting that person go, but like realistically, you guys dated for like 2 weeks in grade 8. Like you need to let that boy go. You need to let him go, and you have to start experiencing new things too. The guy you dated for 2 weeks in grade 8 is not your soulmate. Trust
Can I
me.
interrupt you? Like, literally, I feel like it is so common for social media to allow people to linger on situations that
Yes.
they don't have to, but it's just so normalized because of what is broadcasted that nobody really understands, like, the fact that that's unhealthy and that's not normal. That's not a realistic expectation.
Yes.
And yeah, like, you can miss your ex, and sometimes there are situations where these are completely applicable and you have an emotional tie to them, but sometimes you need to give it up and accept that you need to let go.
Like messaging your ex's current girlfriend or current relationship or about how he did you wrong or what you guys used to fight about is just crazy behavior.
It's absolutely insanity.
Yeah, like I've actually seen people done that in real life, and to me that's just like insane. It's because like now, especially that we're all so young, like we need to experience different people. We have to know what suits, like what type of people or like what sort of experience suits us the most. And if you kind of just linger on to that one person and your experience with them, that's not gonna help in any sort of way.
Like, can I share a story on this?
Yes.
Okay, but you're gonna have to bleep out names because I have to say names. For
Yeah,
the person who says it.
okay.
So basically, when I was dating his ex-girlfriend,
my.
his ex-girlfriend stalked me. Okay,
my.
she stalked my pages, but I couldn't see because, like, at the time, like, I didn't really look at my profile views. Like, I turned them off and all that stuff because I didn't want to check them anymore. I didn't like to. And I get a text from one night when we had already been fighting, and he said, this girl just texted me. It's my ex. She texted me and said, do you know that Ronke's cheating on you? Do you know how I know? Because it takes a cheater to know a cheater. So mind you,
Oh my God.
this girl cheated on him. Okay?
Oh my goodness.
And basically the gist of it was, yeah, do you see how many followers Ronke has? Her DMs are probably flooded, and she probably texts them back. I barely text my friends back first off. Like,
my gosh.
and she was like, and she was
Yes.
like, yeah, like she has all those guy followers. Like everyone that I know knows her. They probably know me from sports. They don't know me from opening my legs anyway. And he's like, oh yeah, like she definitely is cheating on you. Like, I know this because like I cheated on you, and this is the same. This is the same mannerisms. Why are you attacking the girl that your ex is with because you want to linger on the fact? Well, first off, this was your own mistake.
And mind you, you don't even know the girl. Like,
Literally,
you
and this
don't
is your
even-
own mistake. We live in different cities. Okay, you live like 30 something minutes from me. Like I don't know you, and it's just like hilarious because when you let things like that take precedent over people's lives, like it's absolutely diabolical to me. It's actually like I can't do it.
And the fact that she actually had the
Audacity.
audacity to just admit to him, I cheated on you.
And then no, she knows too because he received a video of it. It was with his friend, and then like she had the audacity to say, "But I want you back. Just leave her." And like the thing is, like he almost believed her, which is where I was like iffy. So it's like those type of things, like they like it's like those type of things that are normalized because of social media. Cheating is normalized because of social media. People being crazy and thinking it's a flex is normalized because of social media. It pisses me off.
I know, like the whole like guys like flexing their snap maps on TikTok is just making me so mad.
It's like you're adding all these girls and like mass snapping them your abs. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, like oh my gosh.
I'm glad you crave a real relationship.
Yes, like oh my gosh, go get a job and be employed. Don't go build a bridge or something.
Whoa,
like I don't know.
Chloe.
I'm just so mad.
Okay.
What do you think?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. What I think. Okay. So love. So social media. You guys are completely right. The whole problem with social media is that it made like connection so much easier and like a lot less meaningful. You can totally just like swipe up in someone's DMs and like but do it with like 1,000 other girls and it'd be like completely nothing.
Yeah.
But then you know, because I've only been alive for like 15 years, if I base it off of what it was before I had social media and what, I would say it's a lot different, obviously, because it was elementary school and like
Yeah.
middle school, and it was a lot more personal because boys would go up to you and hand you like personalized cards and be like, I
Yeah.
like you, and get to know you from there, and not be like, oh, hey, what's your snap?
Yes.
You know what
Oh,
I'm saying? And if
Like, you know it's bad when people like the term "can I have your number" more than "can I have your snap." Like, that's
yeah,
what
it's really bad. And if you think about it, social media, like you guys said, it's just based off of attraction. So love at this point is only physical. It's never personal. When you're looking at a picture, you're literally making love to your screen rather than a human being.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah, it's
So-
just the idea of making cheating so casual now.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, on to the last question. Do you guys think the idea of soulmate is realistic or is it just romanticized? Wrong has
So
something to say.
I do think that soulmates are, it's a completely feasible concept to understand, and I feel like it can be applicable, but I feel like soulmates, like the problem with it is the fact that like, so to be someone's soulmate, you have to truly be in love with them, and you have to be able to grow and adapt with them. And I just feel like the idea of soulmates is heavily romanticized because it's like a girl nowadays or like a guy nowadays would be like, oh, they have the same music taste as me. Is this soulmate? Is this soulmate? I listen to unreleased Frank Ocean. I'm so different. This girl is my soulmate.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
that's not how it works. And I feel like generally there's some relationships and just some connections that are so connected and so well nurtured and like so like amazing that it is completely applicable to think that, oh yeah, like this is my soulmate, I've been with them forever. And you see like old relationships where couples have been together for like 50 years. I'm saying like if you say that's your soulmate, that is your soulmate. But if you've been with someone for like a couple months and you haven't fully grown or adapted, like your frontal lobe hasn't even fully developed and you're like, oh yeah, like that's my soulmate, I feel like that is completely inexplainably like stupid. Because it's like you're just romanticizing the idea of I'm gonna be with this person forever, but you truly don't know that because you haven't seen each other grown to the extent that you know that you can if you're truly in a like long lasting dedicated relationship. And like some people may say like, oh yeah, this is my soulmate, and then you go and you try to marry young because you want to keep that relationship to last longer. You want to tie it down as soon as you can. But that's not applicable because if you feel the need to tie something down as need you can, clearly your connection isn't strong enough to sustain the troubles that come with truly being in a relationship and truly being soulmates. You're going to fight, you're going to get in arguments, but you're going to grow from them and you're going to learn how to understand each other more. And that's just how like life goes and how like relationships goes, and nobody really understands that. So it's not a realistic concept to say like this person is my soulmate unless you truly understand the extent of which a soulmate is.
And
Amen, sister.
exactly. Preach. Exactly. Like, I feel like the concept of soulmate, it's like some people are kind of meant for each other, like their personality or anything could match. But also, I feel like the term soulmate, you have to at some point you have to experience fighting, or you have to experience like conflicts with each other, and that's what makes you guys know that you guys are meant for each other, that you guys has been through all this stuff and you guys are together. So it's just weird how it's just like, oh, you guys fought twice, and like that doesn't necessarily like makes him not your soulmate, or that doesn't mean that you guys are not meant to be. It just means that you guys need to experience more things together and grow together.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that good?
No, that's great. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so for me, soulmates, it is realistic to an extent because when you see somebody and talk to that person, there's a spark that can like happen, and it's something like you guys have such a good mutual unique connection. But beyond that, as you guys said, like it's about effort too. It's like you can't just be perfect because there's no such thing as a perfect scenario with a relationship, and so you have to work together with that person if you really want it to like work out, and that's what would make you guys soulmates.
Yes.
If that makes sense. So a big part of it would be for me is like effort, and then
Yeah.
to make it seem like that's what soulmates are.
Exactly.
But here's another big part of like soulmates. What people like don't understand, and I'm not like, as you know, I'm a Christian, so that's a worldview. But like, especially in terms of astrology, because I've always been interested in the kind of stuff. It's like you can have a fated mate, a fated soulmate. You can be so perfectly intertwined in someone's life and so connected in someone's life at one point that it was like you guys are soulmates at that point in time. It's not like it's gonna be like a one day thing. Like it can be for a long period of time.
Yeah.
But eventually that kind of connection can also fade.
Yeah.
And it can also go away. So you can't always expect that soulmate to be everlasting, and you can't just you also don't have to disregard those emotions. You can accept that at one point that was my soulmate, like that was who I thought that I was gonna be with, that is who I felt most connected to, and I had not just attraction physically, but like in our hearts we were connected. But it's like you also have to accept that those things can be fleeting.
Yes.
These are some wonderful questions, and we're gonna end here today. See you guys next week.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.